He damn near smoked you. We see it on Twitter. It's your boy James. Trust the process. Oh my God. I want to just talk about protecting your peace. And sometimes it's not easy to protect your peace. Sometimes we have to go through those hard times in order to appreciate the good times. Die being dirty. It's your boy James with the Stop Being Dirty. Stop eating dirty. Trust the process. Protect your peace. Rest in peace, DMX, man. Don't even feel real saying some shit like that. Like, let me tell you real quick, right? Like, when I was growing up, I looked up to my cousins and all that. So, like, I was born in 89. So, when I was a kid, like in the 90s and shit, like the early 90s when I was a kid, DMX was like that dude. That was like the DMX, Ja Rule, like when they ran shit, you know what I'm saying? Like at a time where like the rumors was going on, like, yo, that Jay-Z tried to like swerve certain things DMX was doing because he was that much of a threat. And mind you, I call Jay-Z the greatest of all time. So to think about that, another thing with Jay-Z is like talking about how he debatably, you know, had a debatable rap battle with DMX. Like DMX flat out says he won. And anyway, so, you know, coming up, you know, looking up to my cousins, as I was saying, like, they bump DMX all the time. So, like, by association of just looking up to my cousins, whatever they did, I wanted to do. Therefore, my cousin Tony's favorite rapper was DMX. So growing up, I heard DMX all day, every day. And, like, seeing, like that's just what we listened to, because I was a young boy hanging out with my older cousins. So, like, when I look back of how far, that's probably like the first artist I could remember, because I didn't come up in the Big Daddy Kane, Rakim era and all that, so they weren't doing that. Like, DMX is like, you know what I'm saying, that dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, me and my boy Jesse and Chuck, we always argue about who's the GOAT. They'll tell you, Jim's always says DMX is the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that, you know, it's a hard one, man. It's such a legend, you know what I mean? So I just want to show some love to that. And Sirius Jones, let's get Sirius Jones. Oh my God. So I'm watching. I knew it was coming. I knew ARP wasn't gonna let this one go. Sirius Jones is talking a little too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And this is the thing which I gotta understand. Don't talk shit to someone who got a platform, man. Don't do it. If they got a platform where they could smoke you, bro, they're gonna smoke you once they find time. I knew once the smoke cleared with the whole Cassidy Hitman shit, like ARP still had his voice wasn't even all the way. Do you believe? The motherfucker lost his voice. He still lost his shit. Like, his shit wasn't even all the way there in the blog. So I'm watching this blog and I'm like, I'm already shaking my head laughing. I'm like, I know this is about to be bad, because it's just like the motherfucker, ARP be surgical with that shit. So is a lot of other bloggers. Not to like ARP is a league owner, but he's a blogger. Like, I'm a battle rapper, but I'm a blogger. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of the attributes like we have and shit. So like, I know, like, he knows what he's doing with this shit. So I knew it was gonna get crazy. So I'm watching it, and he's breaking down the whole Sirius Jones situation in detail, and it's pretty, and it's dirty. Sirius Jones always had a dirty aura. Like, him and Math Hoffa in a parallel universe, they're best friends. Like, them motherfuckers have like a lot more in common than they want to admit. Like, Sirius Jones is just like, something about him, it's like you want to like the guy, but it's like he just has that even the way he laughs is like, what's so funny? Like, what you laughing at? Like, kind of has that aura. You know what I'm saying? I battled Sirius Jones. Great battle, by the way. I think it's one of my best. Sirius Jones is dope in it as well. But it ain't about my personal relationships with these motherfuckers, which I barely have anyway. The motherfuckers ain't my friends. ARP gets into the blog, and he's just breaking down everything. Go check it out for yourself. And, like, he's talking about how, yo, Sirius Jones said this was a lie. That was a lie. This was a lie. That was a lie. And I'm like, oh, man. Pulling up text messages, receipts, all the proof to it. He's taking clips from angry fans interview of saying like, yo, how is he gonna say this? And then he says this, retracting his statement and this. And then when he put saying like, yo, Sirius Jones need a proof of address. Because Sirius Jones, basically, those that don't know, backed out of the Big K battle. Let's just rewind for a second. He backed out of the Big K battle, and the reasonings he gave for backing out was basically proven to be bullshit. And then also, on top of that, he's calling ARP and RBE liars about, you know, basically they're not getting along with the reason of why he backed out. So ARP's breaking down this shit. Like, yo, first of all, bro, I don't know nothing about jail, don't want to know, ill. So, like, y'all can have that knowledge. All I'm saying is, I don't know how Sirius Jones a multiple offender. Like, I had paperwork on Sirius Jones for some whole other case. He's been getting locked up forever. Like, he loves jail. And, like, when you do shit like that, especially the dirty shit he got locked up for recently, and salute to Sirius Jones, I'm gonna say, he can see this and get mad all he wants. But first, if you talk shit about me doing this, first salute the fact that I was saying free you in other blogs. I was saluting at your back and it was dope to see you. But you know how motherfuckers is these days. They don't give a shit about the nice things you say. You can say 100 blogs, something nice about them, and then they'll, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It comes with the territory. I don't give a fuck. So Sirius Jones basically gets locked up for some super dirty shit. Multiple offender of whatever, of breaking the law. So apparently he's been out of jail for a month with no parole officer. That shit to me was a big ass red flag. I'm like, son, this shit don't make no sense to me, but whatever, it's not my business. I don't care. I'm just here to watch the show and I'm enjoying it. So like already that's weird. Then he tells ARP a week before the battle, like, yo, so after being out of jail for 2.5 years, they're giving me a parole officer. Nah, he wasn't out of jail that long. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, this shit just sound weird. So whatever, ARP's going along with it. Like, all right, cool. What do they say? I'll vouch for you. Get them on the phone me. All right, cool. Thank you. I'm going to talk to them. I don't know this person. She seems strict. Then she seems lenient. You don't know her, but then you have her pager number and you're beeping her through your CD player. And like all this story is just all messy. Mind you, this is the chopped up, dirty version. Subscribe to this channel. Write in the comments what y'all think after you go check ARP's blog out. I'm just reiterating this shit in my own breakdown, where it's just basically getting caught in a bunch of lies. And it's fucked up too, because having known ARP for so many years and dealing with him for years of in business and even beyond that, you know what I'm saying? We've had conversations way beyond battle rap. At the end of the day, people might clash and bump heads on the business level, but all in all, the dude really isn't a bad person. You know what I'm saying? He definitely, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm on one time I wasn't even tweeting. I deactivated my Twitter. Motherfucker reached out to, like, Harlem Whites to ask Whites if I was good, like, because I wasn't answering my phone and shit, because I was going through some shit. Like, that's like, dude is cool in that sense, you know what I mean? Like, business is business. I'm a bad, you know, people don't like me in business, people don't like him like, in a sense of, you don't see eye to eye in business, that's fine. That don't change the fact that motherfucker is not a bad person, not a malicious dude. I'm going by that track record as well, whereas Sirius Jones has done multiple weird shit. Type shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's already looking bad for Jones. And then like ARP's pointing out all these things like, yo, I tried to go bad for you. I said I would talk to your lawyer. I said I'll talk to your PO. I'll show proof of this. Yo, when you was in jail, whoever was running your Instagram was asking me for contract proof, you know, to help you in your case, basically helping you get out of jail. And like for someone to spit in your face after you look out for them, how do you expect not to get ethered? I don't be understanding people like that. Like, if I know shit on you and you know I know shit on you, why would you shit on me? I don't get that. Yo, it happens all the time. I don't get it. Let a motherfucker have information on me I don't want to go out. I'm gonna let him slide. I ain't gonna say nothing bad. I'm gonna talk shit maybe like to my shorties or like my homeboys or whatever it is, but I ain't gonna put it public. Like, nah, I ain't gonna smoke him because he gonna smoke me 10 times as worse. And that's basically what happened. But this is the shit that I didn't get from this blog. The RBE shit. Right? And RBE was being very like, he's not blaming it on URL nothing. I am. Sirius Jones, your parole officer is smack. Your parole officer is Beasley or Troy Mitchell or something like that, bro. Like, yo, son, I'm not trying to pay a narrative. Just hear me out. Why would Sirius Jones get out of jail 48 hours later, contact ARP, get booked on RBE, about to battle Big K on a huge fucking stage, Yo, you know, he was quarantined in prison while we were quarantined out here. You come out into the crowds. You got Big K, fire ass name, one of my favorites, on a card with Cassidy and Hitman. Possibly the biggest card even Jones has been on since like the Gin era. Nobody remember that shit. And why would you suddenly... Okay, no. Let's also throw in there. Then you got Jack Boy saying Sirius Jones on the tournament. This shit gets announced right after Sirius Jones backs out of the Big K. Why? Come on, son. So you're telling me you was booked, ready to go, then all of a sudden they announce you on URL. Now you can't battle on RBE. Yo, bruh, if... I'm gonna just throw this out there. I'm not gonna say no names. I'm cool with people over on URL. I'm cool with King of the Dot, Trap House, RBE. It's all love. Like ARP said in that blog, one of these lines. He said, if you was a real one, like you keep trying to throw out there, you could be cool with all the leagues. You just don't gotta move sneaky. That's me. I don't keep it 100 all around the board. With that being said, I'm gonna drop no names, but I'm talking to someone in URL. Yo, son, and I judge people by this. You don't have to earn my trust. You already start at 100%. Only you lying could diminish that trust. But what I'm saying is this. Son is talking mad nonchalant. He's like, nah, Jones wasn't even signed for a big contract. We actually gonna see what he does in the tournaments, even see if you want to fuck with him further. Not only that, he's a legend. Like, dudes like Jones don't have to sign contracts where you can and cannot battle. This is from one of the horse's mouths over at URL. So I ain't saying that they would make that shit up and lie. Even ARP say it's not URL. I'm saying it's URL. Sirius Jones, they say you can't battle on RB if you want to battle over here. Nah, man. Like, it just don't make sense. Then why don't you do both? If ARP proved that all the things you said as far as battling on RBE was a lie, the question lies, why would you lie? What's the point? I don't get it. I don't get it. You even say you spoke to Beasley and ARP when you got out of jail. You and Beasley said you'll deal with some shit further down. You already booked. You said in shit you sitting on bars. You got all these jail bars and shit like that. Soap on a rope. So basically saying you got bars. You already wrote for Big K. You and Beasley didn't establish you battling yet. Then they book you. Then suddenly you cancel the RBE battle, but you're gonna battle on URL. And basically the only thing on your favor is that you're living in Cali, and they're saying and the URL tournament is apparently in Cali, so you could do that one. Watch ARP's blog, bruh. This shit sound wicked to me. Smack is your parole officer. He's many people's parole officers. It's a part of the game. It is what it is. How are you mad at ARP? He even said, yo, Sirius Jones couldn't do it for whatever reason. Basically saying, I don't give a fuck. We're booking someone else. We'll still deal with Sirius Jones down the line maybe one day. Politically correct. Instead, Sirius Jones jumped out the window because he probably ended up thinking, I couldn't. I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe he don't want people to think he's being controlled by a contract. Maybe he's not under contract. If I'm going by who I speak to on URL, who since I met kept it 100, and I'm taking his word for the fact that ain't true. Sirius Jones does what he wants. He did that on his own. Cool. That's what it is. I'm saying it's a lie. I'm saying Sirius Jones lying. I don't even know, man. This is so dirty. You just got smoked, though. See, you feel me? Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what y'all think. Sirius Jones, you ducked Big K. You ducked Big K, which was probably gonna stab you in the throat to battle someone who's about to chop your fucking head off. I want Sirius Jones to do well. I'm gonna do a prediction on that tournament. I ain't got no problem with Sirius Jones. I'm gonna just call it how I see it. This shit looked funny. You went out the window talking crazy. You got fucking ethered. That shit happens. Motherfuckers need to stop talking so much. Stop running to the damn internet, because then this happened. Look at you now. Look at you now. happy? It says Smack is your parole officer. That's foul. Dirty.